Well, the rain showers are gone and the sun was shining bright today. Good evening, I'm Cornelia Nicholson filling in for Greg Lamont tonight. Intelligence officials are noticing a similarity between current calls for violence online and build-up to the January 6th Capitol insurrection. They have been trying to make contact with the suspect inside the home. They have rammed in the door with a battering ram, and now they're still trying to get in contact with him. And you would think it was a ghost town because of how empty the area is. Now, we've been here since early this morning, about 10 a.m., and I want to give you a glimpse of what we saw as we were driving through. Yeah, Greg, if you can see behind me, this dark cloud of smoke, that's moving towards the city of Red Lodge. Now, this is also the same area where Billings police say a 12-year-old Native American girl went missing from earlier this week. Corey, you can do anything you set your mind to. I mean, just look at me and Tracy. Reach for the stars, girl. Law enforcement on the Blackfeet Reservation says they're starting another search for 3-year-old Arden Pepion and 26-year-old Leo Wagner, who have both been missing since April. Jason, you better watch out. You better not cry, and I'll tell you why. Because Santa Claus is coming to town. For many families this summer, they won't hear the hum of their AC unit or feel that cool breeze drafting through their home. Now, how insane is that video? You can definitely see her fight or flight kicked in, and she definitely chose to fight. Welcome back in your health. Federal health and drug officials say if you've been fully vaccinated, then you do not need a booster shot at this time. Now, switching gears, we have new information about the search for missing 23-year-old hiker Tatum Morrell. Rescuers now believe it is unlikely that she is still alive. Under Stage 2 fire restrictions in Yellowstone County, lighting a consumer firework like this one here, well, that's a no-go this holiday weekend.
It was terrifying. It was, I don't even know that there's words that can tell you how terrified I actually was.
Roberta was just arriving home when she noticed police cars on her street, but she had no idea a suspect was on the loose.
I'm really not scared. At this point, I'm just thinking, I'm being nosy. What's going on?
Roberta decided to call her husband, who tells her to let the dogs into the backyard and grab the gun.
I go in, and the dogs are all excited to see me, and they're barking, but I don't know that they're barking to see me or that there's somebody in my backyard, because they bark when they see me.
And although she wasn't scared, Roberta wasn't prepared for what she saw when she opened her back door.
I opened up the door, and my screen door is the only thing that's like between us. And my heart jumps, and I'm telling you, for a split second, literally for a split second, his eyes were like, help me.
Roberta says she yelled at the suspect, slammed her door shut, and screamed to police that he was in her backyard. But by the time police ran to her yard, he was already gone.
My dogs are my heroes. Honestly, but firmly believe from the bottom of my heart, if my dogs had not been there barking, that he could have easily opened that and gone into my house.
With this hot and dry weather here, you're more than likely to come across a snake like this guy right here. But there's only one snake in Montana that's venomous. When you're out on a hike, that's one sound you probably don't want to hear, the shake of a rattlesnake's tail. They're prone to live in hot and dry areas like the rims here in Billings. But Jeff Ewalt with Zoo Montana tells me you can find them just about anywhere in Montana.
You're going to see a high activity level during these hottest days of summer. It's just that's the normal way that snakes operate.
So you're on that trail enjoying your hike and you come across one. What now? Well, if you're anything like me, you might scream or even freeze. Ewalt says that may not be the best answer.
It's going to be more scared of you than you are of it. So just give them their distance, back away, go the other way around the path, and give them their space.
Believe it or not, on average, 8,000 people nationwide get bit by snakes every year. And it's what you do after that bite that determines how quickly you recover.
Make sure that the wound is lower than your heart, and then if you're able, clean that wound and put a dry dressing on it. Don't take that venom out by sucking that venom out, because if you have a cut in your mouth, that venom can actually be transferred even faster to your body. So that's the least favorable thing you want to do.
It may be hard to do, but stay calm. The faster your adrenaline rushes, the faster it moves the venom through your body. He says out of those 8,000 snake bites, only about 5 people die every year. And just remember, snakes won't mess with you if you don't mess with them. In Billings, Cornelia Nicholson, Montana, right now.
American Legion, attention!
It is amazing, amazing. I wish I had more words.
2,600 Americans were lost and unaccounted for during the Vietnam War. First Lieutenant Alva Ray Krogman was one of those unfortunate servicemen who was missing in action. His plane was shot down over Laos during the war in 1967, leaving his family wondering for 54 years if he'd ever come home.
Another Christmas has gone, still looking for you, still waiting, still looking. Where are you?
But Krogman's mother, Lou, never gave up hope. She passed away in 1990. 30 years before hearing the news, her son's remains were finally found and identified in July of 2020. Lieutenant Ray Krogman is coming home. Lieutenant Krogman's remains were flown to Billings and his casket escorted by Patriot Guard riders to his hometown of Worland, Wyoming.
American Legion at ease.
Wednesday, he was properly honored with a full formal service. His niece, Kelly Steindorf, and her brother, Jerry Krogman, stood on stage, tears falling, reminiscing on their uncle.
Ray played football with a bunch of quality guys.
The service was followed by a procession leading the way to Riverview Memorial Gardens, where he would be laid to rest next to his mom and dad.
I think already I'm feeling closure. Just Grandma kept wondering and waiting, and now he's going to be next to them, and he's back to us, and that gives us closure.
The lawn was filled with people paying their respects as Lieutenant Krogman received the highest military honor, a 21-gun salute and a performance of taps.
And his mom and those notes and saying, "I miss you, come home." That's really the sacrifice in America when we send people in fighting for him. So we came up from Cody strictly to honor him and to love on him a little bit. He went 53 years without much loving.
It's been an emotional week. He should have been home 54 years ago, to be honest with you. It tugs at the heartstrings, and it's been very emotional, but it's what we do.
For the Krogman family, it was a day they never thought they'd see.
It's just amazing. It's amazing, and the people of the town. It's great to share with them, and hopefully it'll touch each one of us in a special way.
In Worland, Cornelia Nicholson, Montana, right now.